Let's see.
She's too young.
I keep thinking Aubrey Plaza.
You know what? Literally, you have just made a blockbuster film. Aubrey Plaza. The eyes. Her eyes
Oh man.
are just terrifying. They convey so much range and emotion. And when her dad is doing the abuse scene, because they have to put that in there. You know, the father's trying to hit her or whatever, and she just jumps him into Cuba and then leaves. And that's it. Aubrey Plaza.
Also, after watching, I love Bad Times at the El Royale. Love that movie. Dakota Johnson.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah, Dakota
Yes.
Johnson might be really good in that role.
Good call. Good call.
So I don't know if you've watched it, but I showed it to my production design class, man. I researched everything I could about that Bad Times at the El Royale, the production design and the Steadicam shots. I mean, that's a beautifully made film.
It was, man. And it was awesome, especially when they went outside and the people, we're going to come inside and get you.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh, what about
I only watched it once though.
What about Bill Pullman's son, the kid who's the army, the hotel registrar kid?
Is that who that was?
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. Absolutely, he would have nailed it 100%.
I like that
he
kid.
Would have nailed it 100%.
He's in Strangers Pray at Night. Have you ever watched that movie?
I have not.
So
apologies.
If you're not gonna watch it, just type in Strangers Pray at Night swimming pool scene. It's a good scene, so definitely watch that. But no, man, I'm glad you joined me on this. I mean, you know, you and I both talked about this movie a lot in Korea.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, granted, it was while we had a lot of Chinese whiskey. They call it baijiu.
Bro. But do you think it also connected with us more because we were living in another country? So you get that jumping.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
For sure. For sure. No, it does. You know, one thing that the jumping does, and it's something that the movie really didn't touch on a lot, is how he felt apart from people, how he felt outside of society. And if it had done a better job at that, instead of him just being, bro, I'm so cool, I bang chicks and I teleport with surfboard, people would regard this movie a lot better. And frankly, I think that's probably what the book touched on, which is why Liman didn't want to get into it. Cause his movies are awesome, but they're not deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Swingers is not deep. You know? It was cool, but it wasn't deep.
You're so money.
You know?
And
yeah, exactly.
And I think I think he kind of so Edge of Tomorrow, I think he learned a lot from Jumper. Because in that movie, Tom Cruise starts out very slimy. Like he's very,
he's a jerk.
Like he's ferrety. Like he's a little snide punk, you know? And then he goes through it. And then he becomes not slimy. And so I think Jumper really helped him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. Because Christian, why should we believe Christensen in this movie? Yes, we know that he's always loved this girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But at the same time, there are no pictures of her in the apartment. You know, He doesn't think about her. You know, all he does, according to what we see, is teleport around the world doing extreme sports and banging British chicks.
And drinking gin.
And drinking gin, which is the worst alcohol on earth. I'll fight people with this.
Unless it's Hendrix with the cucumber. That's good.
Hey, you know what? Single malt scotch, brother.
Hey, when you come, if you ever come visit,
an older man.
If you ever come visit, man, I have a ton of whiskey at my house, man. So I'll bust you out some scotch.
We'll do that. We'll have that debate, brother.
All right, so we'll do a Jumper 2.0. We'll love it more because we'll have a bunch of single malt.
Literally, alcohol makes everything better.
All right, so I'm gonna buy the Total Recall Blu-ray. So you want to do this next, Total Recall?
You let me know, brother.
All right, awesome. Well, this was really fun, man. I'm glad you joined me for this.
Thank you so much for the invite. You are the king. I am the king's helper.
We're doing it again. Hey, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Norbert Morvan, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.